Hello, everyone, and I hope everyone enjoyed their holidays or enjoying their holidays.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody. So, Brooke, what are people going to be listening to today?
Well, today we are going back to, this is the episode we did in our Sister Wives Rewind. Now we're calling it Rewind Replay. This was episode 72, and it's covering season 4, episode 1, Sister Wives Separated.
Yes. So it's a little tricky because you wouldn't think this would be a holiday episode, but it is.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see Robin. I mean, it really starts with Robin in labor. Like they go back and replay the birth of Solomon. But
from the season before?
Yes, from the season before.
Oh, yeah, because this is episode 1.
Yeah. So we have to replay Robin in labor. That was a lot. But I just had to laugh because this episode, it was their first Christmas in Vegas. They had it all. Mona Reiki is in this episode showing them properties.
Oh, yeah, they're still in these rentals, and
yeah,
they're still looking. But
and then
they want to be together for Christmas, so they rent. They keep calling it a 10-bedroom vacation home. I don't know if I call it a vacation home. I think does it have a hot tub or something? I'm not really sure. It's just a big house.
Yeah. But there are some moments here where we see, Christine trying to put together a Hanukkah dinner while Kody sleeps in a chair. We see at the Christmas itself, we see Robin gives out the first Sister Wives design. So this is the birth, not only of Jesus, but of Sister Wives
closet.
Yes, both of them. And then we have a scene at the end where Christine and Kody are talking about the relationship.
Yeah.
And my God, I mean, it was all right there.
A lot of foreshadowing. Episode. Yeah. And and the great part, like you said, they're still looking for houses, and they decide that they want to build 4 houses in this cul-de-sac. And then, of course, like I don't know if this is on Christmas Day, but they make all the kids go out to the property.
Yeah.
No, it was. Never mind. They haven't even filled out a mortgage application. Okay. They've done nothing.
They haven't even gotten approved. They don't even know if they have any money for this.
No, they act like that. This is it. They're breaking ground. Like this is it. And all the older kids are just kind of like, oh, God. Because they know their parents, never do what they say. They never follow through. And they're just like, okay, whatever. So, yeah, another great Christmas episode.
Well, we hear about this, too, if anyone's listening to Maddie's podcast, The Authentic Society. I feel like the last episode I listened to, she talks about this, about how she never promises unless she knows 100% she can make it happen for her kids. She does not say anything about it.
Well, that's a good policy.
Yeah. So this was a classic episode. So I hope everyone is enjoying wherever you are in the world and whatever you're doing. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Welcome to the Psych Legal Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
And we are back today for Sister Wives Rewind. We are starting season 4. Gosh, season 4 already.
Yes.
Season 4, episode 1. So,
Sister Wives Separated.
Oh.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sounds very...
It is. It's very
negative. But,
well...
I mean, yeah, this is their theme. They got to get back together.
They got to get into these houses.
Yeah. Well, this is the beginning of that, I guess.
Before we started recording, you said, haven't we already watched this? And what we realized was yes and no, we have not already watched this, but all of the themes in this episode are themes that
very familiar,
are throughout everything, which is we need to get near each other because we're separated. Christine and Kody are a mess, are miserable together. Mary's trying to figure out whether or not she wants to have a baby. We're still on that one. And
lo and behold, it's Christmas again.
And yes, it's Christmas.
Yeah. So at the end of season 3, that was the birth of Solomon. He's now 2 months old.
Yes.
And this is going to be their first Christmas in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So remember, last Christmas, they were in the very cute, but way too small house in the woods. It was like a cabin.
Yeah. That they couldn't drive up to.
Yeah, it was very remote and hard to get to. That was a nightmare. This time, thank goodness, they have a better plan. They have rented a 10-bedroom house in Las Vegas to have Christmas all together. So they don't have to drive anywhere, just, down the road, and whatever.
The production company must have rented this for them.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
So we get a little bit of at first in the beginning, I'm like, oh God, we're going to have to replay Solomon's birth all over again. But we got some highlights. We got Solomon's birth, and we got the replay of Robin's offer to Mary about having a baby. And then we get this whole thing again. But so we leave, what we're left with is it's been 2 months. So Robin can't conceive anyway, even if she can't carry a baby. So Mary's just thinking about it. And that's it. Mary's just thinking about whether or not she wants to have another baby, which is, I really want to know. And when we get to it, I really want to know at what point does Mary get into, because I know it's not till season 8, season 9 is the catfishing.
Yeah.
But in this timeline, because they're in the beginning, they're doing these seasons pretty quick. I mean, they're ending season 3, and then 2 months later, they got cameras back up and we're filming this. So I'm wondering how seriously she really took this.
I don't think it was ever serious. I think it was a way for her to kind of stay close to Kody in some unique way.
Mary or Robin?
Mary. We talked last time about how whether Robin was really serious or not. That's questionable. But also, too, I think it made Mary feel special, that Kody was considering this, and then Robin offered. I think she was just sort of basking in the attention. I don't think she had any idea or any, I don't think she had any intention of doing this. And also, they're talking about this conceptually. They're really not, again, there's no consideration given to the cost and the fact that, again, Mary would have to use a donor egg. She's 40-something years old. Well, I guess, I don't know. Kourtney Kardashian just got pregnant. I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's just be real. We don't know how she got pregnant or what.
Yeah, this is the other thing. She's had a lot of problems conceiving.
Right. To begin
with. Up until this point. So there might be a little bit of can she use her own eggs? Even if she is healthy enough, like the eggs did.
Well, yeah.
If she was younger.
Can she carry it to term? Because she had a miscarriage. There's a lot of issues, but they don't talk about any of the practicalities of it. I think this is just all a fantasy, honestly.
Yeah.
But anyway, and I don't know what season it is that Kody I believe Cody's the one who finally puts the nail in the coffin and says that we're no longer interested.
Okay.
I don't know when that's going to be. In the meantime, we have to just keep pretending.
But we hear from Kody that this. So it's so funny because they're talking about things, and so Cody's saying this is going to be a big year for the Browns. So he's referring to the next year, which is 2012. They've got a new baby. They need to get into these homes right next to each other. They've got real estate, they've got the gym, and they've got marketing. Someone just said marketing. And I'm like, okay.
And that's an MLM. It is.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I think they were doing some kind of drink MLM, similar to a Plexus.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But they've got a lot of stuff going on in 2012. Big year for the Browns.
Yeah. So then the first thing they do is they're going to actually go cut down their own Christmas tree.
Yes.
Which sounds good in theory, but as we know, we did that one time with our dad.
Did we talk about this? I feel
Probably
like we talked about this already.
Maybe the last Christmas episode.
But because did they cut down their own tree then too?
No, remember they went to the tree lot and Mary was flirting with the guy.
Yes.
But yeah, cutting down your own tree is not fun. the trees don't look as pretty, and it's hard to cut down a tree with an axe.
But the place that we went to wasn't like this. They went to like a ski resort that had too many trees, and then they went and they chopped that down. Where we went with Dad that time, that was a specific place where people go to have that experience. Right. I remember it was in rows, and you pick a tree, and then you chopped it down a few times, and then you're like, oh, this sucks. This is so boring. So our father had to do all the work, and then we hauled the tree back and we did it, and it was one of those things where he was like, see, okay, we did that. Don't bug me ever again.
We're not doing it again.
Remember that other time he got the chestnuts and he put them on the open fire and he's like, see, these suck. They're terrible. Stop bugging me about this.
Oh, such a holly jolly holiday person.
But he just wanted us to stop bugging him about things. He's like, these things aren't as great as you think they are.
We can check this off the list.
Yes. But they went to go get a super sad tree.
Yeah.
It was just sad.
And it was breaking off. It must have been kind of not very healthy.
No.
The branches are all breaking off, and then they get it back, to the house, or I don't know, wherever they took it. And all the kids are just looking at it like, are you serious? This is our tree?
Yeah.
So then they start talking about, they have 3 possibilities for building houses all together. So there's never going to be like one big house in Las Vegas.
Yes, they finally
accepted that. So they have what they're calling Property A, which is a cul-de-sac where there's no homes yet, and it's in their school district.
Yes, all the school districts.
And
very important.
More affordable.
No. The challenge is it's not affordable.
Oh, it's not affordable. I just wrote down affordability, and then I just misinterpreted my notes.
No, bro. They can't afford it.
Okay. But that's never stops them.
Oh, no.
It's never stopped them.
No. That's never stopped the Browns.
That's really not a consideration.
Yes.
Okay, Property B has one house built on it already, but it's not in their school district.
And that house is what, 2,800 square feet, which again, out here is huge.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
And then they would have to add 3 more.
Right.
And I guess it was like a horse farm or something, so they could have chickens and I don't know.
Yeah. And then there's Property C, which is has a great view of the Strip, but it's really kind of desolate and out there.
And I think it was really my guess would be is I think they had to drive really far.
It looked very far away from.
So definitely not in the school district.
Not in the school district.
I bet you they could afford the land. Maybe.
Probably.
Potentially.
But it didn't even look like there was anything built out there.
Yeah.
It did not look like a subdivision or anything.
Oh, yeah.
It was just land. So, of course, there's no question. They all want Property A, but that's the unaffordable one.
That's the one that they really can't do.
Who cares?
I mean, let's throw caution to the wind and let's do it.
We got this TV show. We'll figure it out.
And then we have this real quick thing of Mary and Robin shopping. I don't know why we needed to see that, but
I don't know.
And then Christine's making fun of them for shopping.
She says she doesn't like shopping
as much as they do.
And so Christine is doing, I guess they have this tradition where they would always celebrate Joseph Smith's birthday. And Christine loves this, but Kody doesn't. He's basically saying we're not doing that anymore for some religious reason. I'm not quite sure. I didn't really follow this.
Well, I think the issue was that you're not supposed to worship him, and that to celebrate his birthday means that you're worshiping him. Even though, I don't know.
So instead, she's going to have a Hanukkah celebration.
All right. Even though no one's Jewish.
They don't seem to know much about the holiday. She's educating them about it.
Because they love the lights.
Yes. The Festival of Lights.
Yes.
That is
And
Hanukkah.
it's about hope and religious freedom.
Yes. And you know that Cody's all about religious freedom. So I guess he couldn't really object to that. But there was a scene where, Christine is cooking and she's preparing this dinner and, all the kids are, around, whatever. And Cody's sleeping.
Yes. Well, there were some quick clips. And then they had Truly dancing. Mm-hmm. You see little Truly dancing and then Kody sleeping. They have been doing a lot of, either the either Kody must sleep a lot, or the producers are really shady and they're just trolling him, or they really don't like. I mean, something's going on because they're just like, we want people to know this guy does nothing.
Yeah.
Or something, because we've seen, this is not the first time we've seen these little clips put in like about him napping when everyone else is working.
Yeah, they catch him napping.
It's just very interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. And then we get this little section that feels like it was shoehorned in, but as we not so shoehorned, we talk about Christine says that her relationship with Kody is at a standstill.
Yeah, they're not working on the relationship at all.
Yeah, they're just letting it sit there and just hoping it'll get better.
Yeah, it's really sad. Again, this is just one of these themes that like every episode we have to work in. You know, we have to remind everyone Christine is not happy.
But you know what's so crazy? What's so crazy about this is obviously when they edited the show and created the show, they didn't know they didn't know season 17 Christine was going to leave. So what's so fascinating about this is
they picked up on something.
These people, they picked up on something, and this was this theme. And what I love is Kody says, Christine's very different than how she used to be. And it's like, when you married Robin,
she's pissed off that
she's not happy about this fourth wife.
That you took a family that had a lot of struggles and was maybe sort of finally, doing better, and you fucked it all up.
Yeah.
Kody.
So Kody says that through therapy, he's learned that he has to own his own stuff. I was like, okay. And Christine says that she feels as an individual, she's doing well. And then we have Mary, and Mary needs to weigh in on all this. Mary says that it's easy when you're in that place to put the blame on the other person. And she knows that Christine's blaming Kody and Kody is blaming Christine. And all I know is, I just wrote this down. I just feel like I look at Christine and she just looks so defeated, just defeated. Like she is just, it's like a battle she has been waging for all this time. And there's more about this later on in the episode. And I feel like we're getting into a new phase of just numbness.
Well, and because she said that she has since said that when she got her home in Las Vegas and she was able to live independently, basically, that she really started to come into her own as a mother, and she had more control over her life and what was happening. And,
she got out of the basement.
Exactly. She got out of the basement, and it kind of seemed like she had really given up on Kody. And she, even though she kept going with the program and moved to Flagstaff and whatever, at none of those points in time there, I don't think she was like working on her relation or trying to work on their relationship. Kody was just off in his own world with Robin.
Yeah, I think the sense that I get, maybe it was just for the show. Maybe it was just for content for the show as they brought their therapist along. We'll see this later on as they bring the therapist on their honeymoon trip or their anniversary trip. But yeah, I get the sense that she would have these moments where she'd be like, okay, maybe
he's serious.
Yeah, maybe this will work and maybe we'll do this. And I think what she would find is, oh, this is for the show, or, oh, this is for this little moment in time. And then it would go back around. And I think I can't imagine how heartbreaking it is to realize, like, oh, it was for the show, or, oh, yeah, he likes to be here with me, but he really loves going over there.
He never really meant it.
Yeah. Or he enjoys this, but he loves going over to Robin's house.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It is rough.
So here we are.
So
they had Hanukkah dinner, and then they go Christmas caroling.
Boy. It was random. Again, is this just a time filler? It was awful.
Oh, it's terrible.
They didn't even try to sound good, or no one even knew the words.
Well, did you see who they went to carol? I think this was for the show.
It's just their neighbor.
That was that neighbor, that one woman she was Mama so-and-so, and she ruled the block or whatever. She was their neighbor.
She's the only one who would stand there and endure that.
And then after this, then they went to Mount Charleston to get the tree.
Okay.
And then, I just wrote down, I said that this tree looks like the larger version of the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. Yeah. It is the saddest thing you have ever seen. Yeah. And then this started, they're putting the tree on top of the car, and this started the whole Garrison Gabe fight. And all we hear is Garrison going, "You broke my nose." Then you just see blood.
Yeah. Well, Gabe, who's much smaller than Garrison, apparently just popped him in the nose. Got one in. And Janelle's basically saying her boys are constantly fighting, and Kody's just kind of laughing at all of this. And she's saying, he's not there. This isn't funny, because he's not there. She's the one who has to deal with it all of the time. And
so I wonder what's the age range because Garrison and Gabe, because they seem to be, of all of the kids, the two boys, they seem to be the ones that fight the most physically.
Yeah.
And I guess Hunter and Logan, because Maddie's in between them, I guess they don't fight so much. And, Logan's daddy, Logan. Yeah. So, and of course, did you notice too, Logan chopping down the tree, get the tree on the, everything. Kody was putting at least the tree on the thing. But I do wonder, because Garrison does look a lot bigger than Gabe.
Yeah, I think he's just physically bigger, but I think they're only a couple years apart, maybe.
Okay.
Or I don't know. I shouldn't say that.
Because the two of them seem to be very, very close, but they also seem to be fighting a ton.
And that's the thing. Garrison is kind of big. I think he might be big for his age. And he and Gabe are always fighting. And because he can't fight with Hunter. Hunter would kick his ass.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think because, this is the only family of these family dynamics
with multiple boys.
And Janelle's the one that has all these boys. Yeah. That she's the one that has to deal with all of this. And it's so annoying because, every time they go to Kody, we have one of these incidents where we talk about the kids fighting, and then they go to Kody, and Cody's like, well, if it was me, I would really lay down the law, and I'd get, have them, I would just really come down hard on those boys. I'm like, so that's your only parenting?
Yeah.
That's your one parenting thing the entire time?
And easy for you to say. It's easy to say shit like that, but it's much harder to actually do it. And what are you going to do? You're going to beat them? I mean, that's not how you deal with...
Well, he's like, I'm going to take their video games away for 2 months. But it's like, well, okay, so
then you have to deal with them complaining to you and being in a foul mood for 2 months.
Or like, I'm bored. It's like,
he wouldn't last
trust
one
me,
day.
Sometimes with your kids, it's like, oh, good, go.
Yeah, go watch TV, please.
Go in the other room, please.
Yeah,
don't
hours and hours, please. Isn't there a good marathon of something you can watch?
You know what? Especially if you're trying to work. Yeah. I mean, especially parents during COVID and a lot of these other things. Yeah. Like, it's hard.
Yeah, look, I let my daughter pretty much watch as much TV as she wanted. And guess what? She's fine.
Yeah. Well, but the other part of it too is it's like they're not even really watching TV. They're watching YouTube, and they're watching
videos. But they're watching stuff they're interested in.
Yeah,
they don't really watch shows.
Not zoning out. Yeah,
very few shows. Maybe when they're young, and they watch something on the Disney Channel. But once they get into be like a preteen, teenager, they just watch YouTube videos about stuff they're interested in. Some of it is actually educational.
Well, the other thing too is they're not doing anything differently than what we're doing, which is we're watching TV shows, we're online, we're reading articles, we're like it's all the same stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, I love it when Kody pipes in with parenting advice or whatever. Yeah. It's like, you know what? Go away. You this is not you don't do any parenting, shut up.
Well, and just the other thing is that this is your one MO. Like, this is it. Just like, I'm going to come down hard on it. Like, every time, this is his big MO.
What does that even
I'm going to come down hard on these boys. It's like, okay.
And then you're going to leave and you won't be back for 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really going to work.
So anyway, but I think it's just so funny how Janelle must deal with this constantly. She's like, I need paper towels. She sees there's blood everywhere. She's like, I need paper towels. I need the paper towels now. And she's just like trying to like suss out what happened and who started what with whom. And she's just like, oh, I don't care. Just make up.
Poor Janelle. And Janelle actually does talk to her boys. Like when after something happens, like she talks to them. She tells them you're letting your emotions control you. You're getting out of hand. And, she tries to talk to Hunter and tells him, well, come on, you need to make the best of it. And remember the camping trip? Hunter was really just didn't want to be there. But she talked to him and she said, look, I know this isn't ideal, but, we got to do this. So, Kody would just be like, stop complaining or,
Yeah, she's teaching them how to understand and identify their emotions in real time and manage them and understand them and recognize them and find a different way to cope with them, which is life, right? Like that's how it's to be, as opposed to don't have them or suppress them or I'm going to beat them out of you, which is a different way, which is kind of what Kody's doing. Yeah. So, anywho,
so I think it's the next scene where Kody takes
the Pixies,
the younger girls, to shop for their moms.
And again, he's like, oh, this is so overwhelming. You're taking 4 girls shopping. Like, how is that so overwhelming for a couple hours? To one store.
Try being at the mall for several hours and going from store to store to store and having to pretend to like look at things and like things.
You have not been to the mall or shopping with Layla, Brooke's daughter, which is like exhausting.
It's a whole thing.
Oh, she doesn't even let you eat.
She doesn't.
No.
I have to make deals with her. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go to a restaurant. We're going to sit down and eat. Because she would prefer to just get something to go and keep walking.
Yes.
Eat while you're walking.
Yes. She doesn't even eat. Sometimes she'll just get like a boba tea and she'll just chew that thing and then she'll just keep going.
Yeah.
No, I have to tell her, and I said, I need a coffee break. And we need to sit while we have this coffee break.
Negotiate the terms.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So I don't know why he thought that was so overwhelming.
Because he never does anything with his kids. So this is overwhelming to him to go to one stupid store where they all pick out, one thing. How long were they there? 20 minutes? I mean,
probably. Well, and I mean, the camera crew, I'm sure it was exhausting in the sense of like the camera crew and moving this and that. One thing I thought was interesting as I was watching Gwen's YouTube show, and she did say that. She said one thing that she does remember when she was a kid that was so exhausting was there was a lot of the camera crew being like, stop.
Hurry up, wait.
Yeah. The stop, wait. Can you take that turn again? Can you come around that corner again? Can you do this again? Can you do that again? And I do wonder if that's what was going on. If they were just at this one store and it was a lot of, okay, can you do this thing again? And Savannah, God, she's so little.
She's so cute.
She just graduated from high school, we saw, and what is she, 6 or something?
Maybe 5.
Oh, wait, well, we know this is the end of 2011. So she just graduated. This is 12 years later. So she's like 6. Yeah. So cute. So, I mean, that's a lot for a 6-year-old, but she's a pro.
Yeah.
And Savannah's a pro.
Oh, she's been doing this her whole life.
Yeah. She knows what to do. So now we're packing up and ready to go to the vacation home. And we get to see how everybody handles this. We get to see how Janelle is ready because she has teenage boys. Christine is ready. Poor Mary is alone, just doing it all by herself.
She's trying to get Leon to help. Yeah. They're nowhere to be found.
But Robin's alone. But guess what happens?
Oh, Kody sends in help.
Yes. Because you know who Cody's thinking about right now? Robin. Yeah. So Kody gets the boys, gets Logan and Hunter to come over and help Robin bring stuff out to the car.
Basically just load up the car. I mean, Christine was able to get it together. Christine has a lot of kids. It's like Robin is the type of person who she just can't handle she can't handle taking care of her kids. She never has. She's always had nannies even before she met Kody. I remember reading something where she was talking about how her brother lived with her and was like, she called her brother her nanny. she's always had to have help. She cannot just take care of her kids and get it together.
So she's never been that single mother on her own as she claimed to be?
No, that's just a story. I mean, she was technically a single mother in the sense that, she was divorced. Mm-hmm. But yeah, single mother to me means you have zero help.
Yeah.
That's, it's not exactly her situation. And yeah, she's always like not ready, not packed. Someone's got to come in and help her.
Though I will say she does not, I will say to her defense, unlike the other kids, like Christine has Aspen, McKelty. She's got these older girls that can watch Truly and or help her pack and do stuff.
Well, Aspen,
but she's the only one.
The other ones, I don't know.
But Robin's the only one that doesn't have older kids, and Dayton doesn't have the capability. He can't watch, he can't watch Solomon. He can't do any of that. So it really is Robin, she does have the littlest kids, and she does not have any teenagers at all to help her.
You're right. Your defense of Robin is...
So she doesn't, and she has this newborn. So, yeah. I mean, I would give her that, but I just think it's so interesting. We're seeing this juxtaposition of poor Mary being like, well, I'm an independent person and I don't mind being independent, but it would be nice to have some help. But I'm blah, blah, blah. And then seeing sort of like Kody, who it's just like typical. Who is Kody thinking about? Mm-hmm. Who is Kody wondering and worrying about? Who is he concerned about? Robin. And I think he would defend that by saying, well, she just had a baby. But it's like, you have more, you could have sent Logan to one and Hunter to another. It's just like, no, you really did. No, you're thinking about Robin. So anyway,
so yeah, they're packing up to go to the vacation home.
Yes.
And then this is always a, standard thing. They get there and we got to figure out who's going to
take the housewives.
Yeah. Who's going to get what room. And, Kody always kind of, I don't know. There seemed to be a clash between Kody and the wives, and
they just kicked him out of it.
They kicked him out. They figured it out. So
yes,
that was that.
But he says that being in this house together is just another sign that they need to live closer together.
Yeah, we know.
Yes, we know. Kody, we know.
We're on the same page.
Yes.
So then I don't know what I wrote down here. The tree. What an experience. I don't remember what they have. I'm sure they had trouble getting the tree inside.
Yeah, well, they had to bring the tree in, and then they had to put it up. And of course, there's Logan. It was a tall tree, but naked. There were no branches, and they've got Logan there on this ladder putting up the lights. And then they were talking about actually how this is Logan. Logan's a senior. This is his last year at home. And it's really emotional. And of course, what I love is Logan's like, I'm really looking forward to getting away.
The poor guy.
Yes, he's looking forward to getting away. And of course, the parents aren't happy at all, especially Kody, because they're all like, oh, crap, he's leaving.
Yeah, we're losing a parent.
Yeah, we're losing one of the parents. Oh, no, he's going. Yeah.
And then was he in charge of, or he had been in charge of the Nativity?
No,
play?
that was Leon. So Leon, it was, I get the
sense, I thought it was Logan's job before, but then Leon was taking over. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Maybe. Well, I get the sense that Leon decided that they wanted to do this Nativity play and wrote it all up and did it and directed it. And then tried to get their siblings to kind of get on board. And the siblings were all like, you got to be kidding me. I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
So, but we did see it. And you know what? I'm sorry. It looked pretty cute. I mean, they had little towels on as like, robes.
I thought it was a good production.
It was really charming and sweet. And listen, it's a goofy little thing that your parents are going to love. So, and all of it. And of course, Solomon was baby Jesus. Of course.
Of course.
I at first thought Truly would be baby Jesus, but I guess, Truly's out. They just booted poor Truly out the door.
Is like, what? She's like a year old now. Yeah. She's an old lady.
Yeah. Too late, Truly.
She can walk.
she's of no interest.
Can talk. I don't know.
But I thought the whole thing was so cute. And I thought they did a really cute job. And I don't know, but you can see already that Leon like tearing up, and Leon has a hard time when Leon doesn't feel seen.
Yeah.
So
So it's cute. So then I guess they all exchange gifts.
Oh, I do. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this Christmas morning. I want to talk about this.
Okay.
So this is Christmas morning. Everyone's up. We show people exchanging gifts. We see Savannah give Leon that cute gift that she made with the thing with the cars going and how they all live in those separate things. So these are the gifts that Kody gives. He gives Robin a guitar. He gives Janelle an electronic tablet. He gives Mary this like diamond ruby necklace. And he gives Christine this ring that she saw that she really loved. And then they give Kody a gun, this very exotic gun, which I thought was really weird. Now, we can talk about the gun in a second.
That gave me chills.
Yeah. My question is, how do these people have any money? These are like, I don't say, my husband and I really, we don't really exchange gifts like this. Like, I'm just kind of like, where are you getting all the money for these? These are, I don't know. I don't know how much the diamonds and rubies are expensive. A good guitar is expensive. Ring. These are
gun was expensive.
That gun was expensive. Like, these are all expensive gifts. I like to backtrack a little bit here, people, about all of this. I really want to know. We were told in the last season that you guys were financially
finite resources.
You had finite resources.
They had to get cash out their 401ks.
You had no money. 401ks. You are now paying for 4 rents right now. 4 rents. And yes, you have the show. And yes, you just got another payday because you have another season coming in. But it's still TLC. It's
not that much money.
It's still TLC. It's not a lot of money. Your MLMs have really not taken off yet. Your businesses haven't taken off yet. You are trying to get into these 4 homes. So you're having all these credit problems. Right. How in God's name?
Saw all their credit problems when they tried to get the mortgages.
So I would just like to say that and obviously you're buying. I know they're each not buying each of their kids a ton of gifts and they're all exchanging gifts, but I don't know. I was just really surprised by that because I would just like to say my husband and I, if we want something like this, we would just buy it for ourselves normally, but I'm not going out and buying, my husband's not going out and buying me diamond and ruby necklaces simply because we're going to use that money for my son's college or the 90,000 other things that we have to pay for, constantly. And so, and my husband and I are in better shape than these people at this point.
Well, I think maybe TLC might have given them a budget for Christmas so that they could buy some nice gifts. So it would be interesting for the show because it enhanced the present opening scene and made it so it's you got a tablet instead of, you got a sweater, you know what I mean? Because all the gifts, all the wives' gifts were nice.
Well, I don't know. Or maybe say now, because of our finite resources and we want to get in these houses, we're not going to exchange gifts. Yeah. So we're going to do this or that. I was just like, wow, these are some really nice, expensive gifts.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
All right. So you want to go to the gun? Because I was really surprised when he opened that up. And I was like, oh, this is the big surprise. They're all excited about giving him. Is this exotic gun?
Well, yeah, he gets I don't know the names of these things, but it's basically it's a machine gun, automatic weapon, whatever you want to call it. And he's talking about how it has a hollow sight. I don't even know what that means, but the boys all think it's cool. And he clearly thinks it's very cool. And then he says in an interview, years ago, when I was in the gun things, I don't know if those were his exact words, but to me, that was sounding like, oh, well, years ago, I used to be into guns or work in guns. But we all know now that he sells guns. I don't know how long he's been doing it or but I really think that TLC has tried to suppress that whole part of his life. They don't talk about it. It's never discussed. And this is the only time that I've ever seen, a gun on the show. And then he gives a little speech about how they have a gun safe and, they keep the guns away from the kids and blah, blah, blah. But I wonder if they got, backlash from that.
Maybe this is the one and only time they did it and they got backlash and they were like, okay, forget that.
Okay, well, we can't have this. So yeah, it just reminded me that, that's part of his life.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to get political here. I mean, statistics show that, 70 to 80% of the country doesn't think, that people should be owning machine guns and that there should be, whatever. But I don't know. It's just startling to me.
Well, yeah. And also the way they talked about it too, of like, ooh, we thought of the perfect gift. And like, I mean, I thought this was going to be like some kind of photo album or some kind of something warm and fuzzy. And
right.
It's a gun, like, oh, okay, great. But then we get an even better gift.
The gift nobody wanted or even asked for
is coming.
It's like, yeah, here we go.
So Robin gives did she give one? She had 4 boxes. So I don't know if she gave one to Kody, but she gives the wives and maybe Kody. I guess it's a necklace. I didn't know if it was a necklace or a bracelet. She said necklace.
Pendants.
Yeah. So it's a charm. It's the first piece of the sister wives closet. So is it my sister wives closet?
I think it's grammatically incorrect.
Yes.
Because if you're saying, is it singular? If it was singular, it should be WIFE''S. But if it's sister wives, like the name of the show, it should still have an apostrophe. It should be WIVES apostrophe.
Oh.
But there's no apostrophe. I don't know. I don't think it's grammatically correct.
Because I don't understand. It's like my sister wives closet.
I thought it was called a possessive, like when you're talking about an actual closet. Like, I'm going into my sister wives closet.
Next time on Grammar Talk, people are like leaving, like, oh God, I didn't sign up for Grammar Talk.
Well, I
signed up for sister wives.
I don't know what Robin means.
Nobody knows.
Is she talking about the literal, like her sister wives closet?
Yes, this has been the debate.
Or is she talking about all of them, my sister wives, and then it would be closets. My sister wives, apostrophe, closets.
Yes.
Either way, I think it's grammatically incorrect.
And it's a terrible name. It's a really, really dumb name.
It is.
I understand that they wanted to get the name Sister Wives in there because they needed to capitalize on the show. I get that. But why don't you just do, SW Jewels or SW Jewelry and
because you don't put jewelry in a closet. That's the thing. It's a jewelry line. I don't think they ever developed any clothing.
But they wanted to do clothing and bags. So why don't you but if you wanted to keep it open so that you could do other things, I think maybe they decided to do closet because they could do it that way. But why not do, instead of sister wives, why not, because you kind of then, I understand it's so hard because you're now making it religious and
I don't know. We're making this too complicated.
It's so hard on Grammar Talk. Next week
we should ask our mom. She would know.
Oh God! So next week we're going to talk about there, and there.
Yeah. So bone up on that.
But this is their first piece of their new business, and that's exciting.
Oh yeah. Well, this business that goes nowhere, basically.
Yeah. So anyway, we're back to Christine and Kody.
Yeah, this is really sad. It's the next day. I guess they spent the night together. They're in their
separate beds or something. Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
In a room with 2 twin beds, and they're in their pajamas. And Kody says to her, "Am I out of the doghouse?" I guess, but they're looking at her ring, and she's saying how much she loves her ring. And then Christine says, "We have some things to work on, our relationship." And then Kody says, "You're afraid." And then Christine just says, "I don't think you want to be with me at all."
Well, the best is Kody says, she says, "We have some things to work on." And Kody says, "Communication?"
And she's like, "No, our relationship."
No. But what I thought was interesting is what she said, which is, we commented on this before, which is she feels like he waits until the last possible minute to come over. And he leaves as soon as he can. And that's what we saw when we saw the 4 lives of Kody Brown. Like, it seemed like he got over there, and the minute he could get out, And he says that she's not really pleasant when he comes over.
Yeah, he says he's afraid. He says, I'm afraid to come over. And then he also says, well, we've been busy. And, he's just making up excuses.
But I mean, I will say that this dynamic with the two of them, I see this a lot with couples, and this happens. This is a very, very common dynamic, which is, she feels she's hurt and she feels angry and resentful towards him. So she has all this anger and she feels it and it builds up. And so she's probably not very pleasant. So he feels it. So he's like bailing as soon as he can. And that hurts her feelings. And then he's gone and he's like, oh, she doesn't really want me here. So I'm going to leave. And then he comes last minute and then she's even angrier that it is so last minute. And, right. And so he leaves earlier and earlier and earlier and earlier. And then the resentment builds. And then it's just, and it just gets worse and worse on each of their ends until someone's willing to break the cycle. Until Kody says, you know what, let me come early, and that'll make her happy. And no matter how even if she's mad at me or she's not very pleasant, I need to stay as long as I can. Or she needs to say, no matter when he comes and goes, I'm going to be pleasant. Right. I'm going to be nice. And,
but ultimately what she's angry about is that he married Robin.
Yes.
And there's nothing, that's a done deal. You know what I mean? Like,
but the thing is, but then she has to decide, she has to say to herself, okay, this is done. This isn't going to change. I have to accept this.
I leave.
Yeah. I have to accept this. So, and me being angry at him all the time is obviously pushing him away. And this cycle is going to continue. You can see we're in this cycle. So the only way to break the cycle is I have to change my behavior. I mean, that's the thing. People, we're like thermostats with other people. If we change our behavior, the other person's behavior has to change as well. So if you want a dynamic to change, you don't wait for the other person. You change your response to them. They have to change. Listen, you don't know how they're going to change. You have to give it some time. I personally think that if Christine gave it, 6 months of her being nice and his behavior doesn't change, well, that tells her a lot. Like, you either have to accept that this is the relationship. But she also mentions that they're both, that's why I said numbness, because she also mentioned that they both are like on their phones, playing on their phones, ignoring each other. It was like, oh, you're not even really trying. Like you're angry, but you're like numb angry. You're like mad, but you're just playing on your phone. Like you don't even really, even when he's there, you don't even want to talk to him.
Christine is so mad. And she never got over that. She saw him marrying Robin as such a betrayal. And so that was the end. That was the end.
So this whole scene, I remember the first time I saw this, I remember thinking to myself, this is hands down the worst thing you could do to your kids. Thank God they got these houses in the end. Because when Kody walked up to all of them on Christmas morning and said to them, hey kids, there are these cul-de-sac homes that we really want. And we're so excited. Let's go show you them.
Yeah, mind you, they don't even have haven't even applied for a mortgage or anything.
All you've done is walk out there.
Yeah, all you've done is decide this is the cul-de-sac we want.
Yes. And you've just spent a lot of money on gifts you cannot afford for the holidays. So you have now gone out there and shown all of your kids this property, and you're flying kites on this property and celebrating this property that you have no claim to whatsoever, that you haven't even, Mona Reiki's sort of just looking at you like, maybe you should take this horse farm, people, because you can't afford this.
Yeah.
So that was real interesting.
No, they're very lucky that
my God.
that all did come together.
But I do wonder how much the show or Puddle Monkey or whomever vouched for them. Because there is no way, I don't know. I don't know how much were each of those homes in the end?
About $435.
Each home was about $435.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which
and they had nothing.
Those are big houses.
Those are huge houses.
Yeah. So
$435.
That's a couple $1,000,000 right there. But I'm sure they were like that. This was back in the day of, 2012. It was already past the
Yeah, things were different. I mean, things were tightening up.
It was past the bubble bursting, but then it was harder to get loans after that. So I don't know how they got them.
Because by the time we bought our house, which was a couple years after that, like they needed to know where every single dollar was coming from and like how we were going to pay this and how, you know, like every dollar had to come from, like, where are you getting this money from? Where are you getting that money from? They were very much like, and how are you going to pay for this every month? And how are you going to do this? I mean, it was
a reaction to all those loans, or those stated income loans where you didn't even have to prove your income. You could just say, yeah, I make $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, okay, great. You qualify for this. Literally, it was like that.
Yeah. I had just started my, my practice. I just had gone out on my own. So I really didn't have any proven income. And I think 10 years earlier, I probably could have gotten a loan on that, but I had to have Dad co-sign for me to prove my income because he had proven income. And then a couple years later, I got him taken off. But again, none of these women had full-time jobs. Not a one, except for this
Nobody
show.
had a job.
Cody did not have a full-time job.
Cody didn't have a job. I don't know, his MLM. I mean, how much was he making off of that?
Yeah. So crazy.
Well,
boy. So this is season 4. So I guess it's all of season 4. We're going to be talking about getting into these homes and getting the loans. And then season 5, when are we going to start talking about the wet bar?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't know.
Probably season 5.
That's a good question. I remember looking this up before, and I believe that they don't.
Because they don't really move into those homes until 6. Oh, 5.
Let's see, TLC. I'm just going to look this up real quick.
Because, the big thing is, right, they wanted to get into the homes for the holidays. Right. And I wonder if it's next holiday Christmas? Or the holiday after that. But maybe it's next Christmas.
I think it's next Christmas because this season 4 looks like it has a lot of filler. Mm-hmm. There's like some Brown family confessions and... oh God, there's one about infertility.
Oh Lordy, and Mary.
Yeah, it looks like season 4, nothing really happens. And then season 5, okay, this is when they get into trying to get the loans. And, I think they're still not in the houses.
No, I don't think they get into those houses until 6. I really don't.
Yeah. This is it. Christmas surprise. This is when Janelle gets her house and she's making Christmas.
Is that season 6?
Season 6.
Yeah.
Middle of season 6.
Middle of season 6. Ay, Gewalt. Okay. Well, we're blasting through these. We'll be,
we'll get there eventually.
We will, we're taking you on this journey with us. Yes. So in the world of Sister Wives, what have we seen? We just saw Christine looking very sexy.
Oh, yes. Christine and Janelle and Maddie were at a Plexus convention or something. Mm-hmm. And of course, David was there with Christine, and she was wearing a very low cut, revealing, sexy black dress.
Yes.
No more modest as hottest.
No.
That is gone.
Christine is feeling herself.
She's feeling herself.
David has awoken. something inside of Christine that has been dormant.
It's been dead.
Has been dead since truly was conceived, people.
Frankly, probably since she met Kody.
Okay? Yes.
She had a very shitty life, marriage. I don't care what she says. He never made her feel even a fraction of the way that this David guy does. And I don't know if this was real, but she had a tattoo, like right above her boob, really, her left boob. There was a little symbol of something. So I don't know if that's a real tattoo or not, but wow, she's coming out.
Yeah, she is. If she starts endorsing sex toys, my God, because she is just, she is glowing. She's just
so happy.
Oh, yeah.
She's showing us all of the stuff they're doing at their new house. They're putting in like a new deck and a fire pit and a playground for the grandchildren. They have a trampoline. I mean, this guy is just, okay, I hope I don't eat these words someday.
Oh, God. Please, God.
Please, God. protect this couple.
Please,
do not let this guy turn out to be a douche.
Yeah, please, God.
He just seems like he's very generous and loving, and they're always going on these little trips with Truly, and they both are very into their children, their grandchildren, and I mean, God, I hope this is all real.
Yeah. And you look at, listen, he's cute. And I like the fact that he's not Mr. Gorgeous, slick, he's
a typical, middle-aged guy.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of like, good, have great, I hope the two of you are having a great time together, and he's not trying to use her for anything. And I just think that they're, very, very happy.
Yeah.
So
he has his own money, his own, whatever. And so does Christine. She's still hustling. She's got some new places she's working with and new companies, and so she's living her best life.
She's out there,
and and also I don't really follow Mary, but I see things where she's always posting all these like real positive posts that don't seem very authentic. So she lacks a lot of authenticity. So I'm not really into her.
I swear to God, I so wish I had an extra $6,000 because I would go to her weekend thing. I would go to that weekend thing. I would really be curious to hear what that is.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm so curious of what it is.
Like nothing. I'm sure it's just. Someone posted. Maybe she posted. I don't know. She posted stuff from the one retreat she had, which was probably all people she knew, because I don't think people were paying for that, and it looked lame. Like it just looked like nothing.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're missing anything.
I think the problem is that she doesn't want to, right? She wants to use the fame to get people to purchase things, but she doesn't really want to address anything, and she doesn't want to address the show, and she doesn't want to be.
She doesn't want to be real.
She doesn't want to be she doesn't want people looky-looing at her, which I also understand. But then don't do a weekend retreat at your home if you're not looking for looky-loos. And I think the other problem was that she didn't have any like programming. If you're going to, and I've been invited to these things and people have paid me to go, where you go and they've, people have paid to go to this weekend retreat, and they pay a lot of money to go, and the person putting it on hires a chef and hires nice things for people to go. And I've been paid to go and give a talk for a couple hours. And then you pay people to come and like give a talk, or you pay massage people. Like she wasn't going to have you do anything. It didn't seem like there was nothing
I think they
worthwhile.
Went on a hike or something.
Yeah. And so if you're going to pay people if you're going to ask someone to come to this thing, then
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. They have to, it has to be like $6,000 is a lot of money. So you can go for $6,000. You can go to La Ventana, I think, for I don't know how much it is for how many days at La Ventana, or one of these beautiful spa resorts.
Yeah, no, Mary has no game, really. She's doing it all wrong. And, she's never really, you could see this about her, just her personality on the show. She's just not a warm person. She's not an authentic person. This isn't for her.
Yeah.
I mean, God, at this point, Janelle is more warm and authentic than Mary. I don't know. Yeah, nobody's interested. But, everyone's interested in Christine because Christine does put it all out there, and she lets you into her life, and she's, positive in an authentic way. So, Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, all right.
So, we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
And we will see you for the next episode. In the meantime, we are on social media at Psych Legal Pop on Instagram and TikTok. And also, if you enjoy our podcast, we would appreciate it if you would give us a 5-star rating and review. We're continuing with Sister Wives Rewind indefinitely on Tuesdays.
Yes.
And then we're starting Thursday with the first 2 episodes of And Just Like That, season 2.
Ooh,
very exciting. I'm already like way down a rabbit hole with all this stuff. So if you enjoy that, then look for that on Thursdays. And
yes, and subscribe.
Subscribe to the podcast and let people know if you enjoy our podcast. You can just send it to them on Apple Podcasts.
Spread the word.
And thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.